Alright, motherfucker. Today we are creating bacon and we're making rice rolls with milk gravy, our favorite South Carolina recipe, with meat substitute, which I would have rather have used, but there's still bacon that I've had in there for about a year in the freezer. So I just sliced that piece and we're going to cook that and that meat substitute. Get us some nice, stuff burning in there. Get it nice and cooked. Then we're going to make some rice balls out of the rice we have over here. Still going to be a while for the rice. Alright, and as a final measure, we're going to just go ahead and finish this a little bit off here. Throw with some mushrooms inside, because mushrooms just make it delicious. And then we'll also add maple syrup. This makes the flavor of everything better. Also, to be a little bit more interesting, we're adding a little bit of self-rising flour and microscopic amount of this. That way it'll have a little bit more collection. Trust me. Now, I've never made a rice cake. But now we have to understand if we have the right consistency. I know this is still a little bit sticky, still a little bit wet. I did kind of burn the pan some. But we'll see what happens when we make some balls out of it and then do the proper combination. So there's our first really nice cauliflower looking shit pile. I'm understanding how this thing is, the rice, it resembles, your ass, I think, because, everything has main constituents, in Japan. So we have the beef and bullshit, and then all we need now, which is part of the recipe, is some mayonnaise. And it tends to fall out. And you know what? Life does need a diaper. So people need to know how to make this, understand what it's like to have a life that is just completely unsealed. And it requires something to go over it in order to seal it. Just like a rice cake is. And just kind of squish it up here at the top. Show you what diapers are like. Look at that. It has a perfect diaper. That's what it resembles to me. I think it's very smart. I think it reminds me of life. Okay. And we'll go ahead and make our third rice volcano. The only thing is that the first one we did not use any mayonnaise. Okay. We'll flip, and congratulations, rice cake. And 4. Also, a little bit of nostalgia for you to remember is the game Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and kind of look at the fabrics of how those worms were developed in that game, because they had these little things that look like that and eat, Pretty interesting to think about, and how those thought forms and physics work. And then we'll get that covered. Alright, so now we have 5 rice cakes, which is a lot of work. About 10 minutes of time, 4 minutes of filming. Now it's time for some South Carolina gravy. Alright, so how to make this gravy is you turn up the pan, get some really delicious self-rising flour, and let that cook and turn brown with whatever you have in the bottom of the pan. You can cook vegetables, you can cook mushrooms, you can cook tofu, you can cook beef, bacon, spinach, lettuce, anything you want to cook, as long as it has residue that can burn and has some flavor in it. It doesn't matter what's in there, it doesn't matter at all. But, if you are cooking with vegetables, make sure you add, like some vegetable oil, and that way it has something to catch it in. It doesn't really matter, though. I'm learning about that with this. So we just kind of do this, spin a little bit in this oil a little bit. If you wanted to, just added some vegetable oil, because this is pretty smoky as it is. Really, 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 nice. They're nice and cooked there. Just give it some time. Now this looks about brown enough. Now add this secret ingredient. I wonder what it is. I bet it's a spill. Arrgh! It's molten milk. That's what it is. Yuck, it's fucking disgusting. Then we'll just sit there and let it simmer. Mix it around. Let it cook a little bit. Maybe a little bit more milk. So a little bit more of that. So a little bit more, huh? That's what you needed. Okay, so we'll just let it continue cooking. Add a small amount of salt. Shit. And of course, small amount of pepper. Have it in there now. Turn this thing up a little bit. Just cook the crap out of it. And then this thing will be nice and solidified a little bit more. And then I think we'll be ready. Add a little bit more extra powdered cum. Here, let's add it. Has to be inside. Twiddly-doo fairy. You can tell it has a wonderful brown, great smell. Smells almost like eggs after you cook them. Because they're so meaty, delicious, and good for the health. And there we have probably the best mixture of American cuisine with Asian cuisine mixed for an extra amount of not wasting the seaweed sheet. We'll add whatever's left of our seaweed into this, and then we will mix it and stir it or something to create some form of pulse or something. As you can see, the lack of brilliance. Oh, let's try this amazing recipe. Bernie for president. Because he is not running.